Grant your blessings so that my mind may be one with the Dharma. Grant your blessings so that Dharma may progress along the path. Grant your blessings so that the path may clarify confusion. Grant your blessings so that confusion may dawn as wisdom. Take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. Take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. Take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. Ate Malgud Vegebra Vegdula Leolam Amen. Yore Vahe Adonai Ehi Agla. Before me Raphael, behind me Gabriel, on my right hand Michael, on my left hand Uriel. For about me flames a pentagram, and within me shines the six-rayed star. Ate Malkut Vegebra Vegdula Leolam. Amen. I connect with the white light of my highest self, pure source love. I call in the galactic energies from the great central sun through our sun into my head, flowing down through my heart, through my root, into the center of the earth. I invite the white light to rise up from the center of the earth to the root, to my root, up through my heart to the top of my head. I acknowledge the directions, east, south, west, north, sky, earth, and heart. I invite the white light to form a sphere of protection around me and my human family. I acknowledge my vows to be of service to others in alignment with the principle of non-harm and the cosmic law of one. I pray that all my actions and their effects be in alignment with these principles and vows, with the highest and best intention for the benefit of all beings. Let any impurity or error in this ritual be transmuted into perfection and into the accomplishment of this prayer. I make my prayer in the center of the great web of life. I call in my wise and well ancestors, my guides, teachers, and allies. I call in all my relations to assist, guide, and amplify my prayers here and now. I call in my galactic lineages, Pleiades, Orion, Lux, Proxima, Vega, Andromeda, Zeta, Sirius, Yael, and all the others, calling upon the Galactic Federation of Light, the Galactic Star Councils, the Lords of Time, Karma, Synchronicity, and Destiny, and those who may accomplish this prayer here and now. I call upon my earthly lineages, my mother and father lines, the lands of my blood, of Europe and of North America, and of all the forgotten places. Thus I call upon all of the earth human family. I call upon the spirits, lineages, and powers of my religions and cultures, of the Christian faith and the Shambhala Buddhist practices. Thus I call forth the new earth avatars of the Christ and the Buddha, us, the human family. I pray for the new earth. I invoke the harvest. Let the empires be dissolved. Let the instruments of war be repurposed. Let the tools of enslavement be released. Let peace, love, joy, and creativity reign. Let us recognize that the golden age is dawned. I claim my status as lineage holder, as prophet, priest, and mage. I, prophet of New Babylon. I, priest of Asclepius. I, voice of the mage of the shattered mirror, thrice remembered and thrice born, here now claim all power and energy available for the accomplishment of this prayer. Let this action transmute all history of violence, aggression, and service to self into the embodiment of peace, love, and unity consciousness. I claim the ancestral blood magics of those who have gone before, and I call upon the power of all the blood shed in empire. Let no more blood be shed for magic and empire. Let no more blood be shed at all. Let the old systems of magic, those of money and control and empire, be banished. Let the power of the new earth arise, love and respect of self and others. Let all those who have suffered in empire be healed. Let all be initiated into the deepest and highest mysteries. Let all discover the magic of love through the direct experience of the integration of light and dark in the lived history of our human family. Let us be aware that life is a dream of our own making, so that we may choose peace, light, and love. Let us forgive the agents of empire and the perpetrators of our suffering. Let us love them as ourselves. We, the one human family on earth, declare ourselves sovereign and free. We declare our basic dignity and goodness. We raise ourselves up into the celestial community. Let all humans share equal rights, and let us see our true place within this earth family. Let these basic human rights include freedom, healthcare, education, and equal share in the abundance of our earth and our collective industry. Let the military-industrial complex, the dark and covert councils, and the corruption of the false governments be dissolved through only the loving action of forgiveness and acceptance. Let our governments and collective systems truly serve the people and all of our relations, including the animals, plants, rocks, spirits, and all the earthly expressions of the divinity. Let our science, industry, medicine, education, religion, and culture truly be of service to the empowerment and embodiment of the divine spark within humanity. We, the human family, declare that we let go of war, aggression, and materialism, so that we now enter our rightful place in the galactic community. I call for the transmutation of empire into the golden age. I call forth the beauty, love, and creativity of the earth human spirit. We are no longer slaves. We now live in the promised land. This is now the new earth. We join now the celestial family. This is now the golden age. I pray that my family enjoy peace, love, good health, and prosperity here and now. May our children grow in light and love. I pray, may all those touched by this work be blessed. May these actions be of benefit to all sentient beings in accordance with the principle of non-harm and the cosmic law of one. Teach me, O Creator of all things, to have correct knowledge and understanding, for your wisdom is all that I desire. Speak your word in my ear, O Creator of all things, and set your word in my heart. Amen. Behold the ring, lo, this is it, wherewith all miracles and divine works and wonders were wrought by Solomon. This is it which the archangel Michael has revealed to me. This is it which philosophy dreameth of. This is it which the angels scarce know. This is it, and blessed be his name. Yea, his name be blessed forever. Without this I shall do nothing. Blessed by his name that encompasses all things. Wonders are in him. His name is wonderful, Pele. His name works wonders from generation to generation. Amen. Behold the lamen, as the holy table conciliates heaven and earth. Let this lamen, which I place over my heart, conciliate me to the holy table. Amen. Med, drux, or gid, graf, drux, med, graf, med, or med, gal, gid, drux, drux, tal, dan, or, graf, don, or, gesig, gon, med, ged, med, graf, or, don, or, drux, or, don, or, drux, med, graf, med, graf, sef, ged, or, mal, pa, gon, med, graf, mal, tal, or, pa, drux, van, med, gon, drux, or, pa, med, drux, or, ged, graf, drux, med, graf, med, or, med, gal, ged, drux, pa, drux, tal, don, or, graf, don, or, gesig, gon, med, ged, med, graf, or, don, pa, drux, or, don, or drux, med, graf, med, graf, sef, ged, or small, pa, gon, med, graf, mal, tal, or pa, drux, van, med, gon, drux, or pa, med, drux, or ged, graf, drux, med, graf, med, or med, gal, ged, drux, pa, drux, tal, don, or graf, don, or gesig, gon, med, ged, med, graf, or don, pa, drux, or don, or med, or graf, med, graf, sef, ged, or mal, pa, gon, med, graf, mal, sal, or pa, drux, van, med, gon, drux, or pa, med, drux, med, or get, graf, drux, med, graf, med, or med, gal, ged, drux, pa, drux, tal, don, or graf, don, or gesig, gon, med, ged, graf, med, graf, or don, or pa, drux, or don, or drux, med, med, graf, med, graf, sef, ged, or mal, pa, gon, med, graf, mal, stal, or pa, drux, van, med, gon, drux, or pa, med, drux, or ged, graf, drux, med, graf, med, or med, gal, ged, drux, pa, drux, tal, don, graf, or graf, don, or gesig, gon, med, ged, med, graf, or don, pa, drux, or don, or drux, med, graf, med, graf, sef, ged, or smalls, pa, gon, med, graf, mal, tal, or pa, drux, van, med, gon, drux, or pa, med, drux, or ged, graf, drux, med, graf, med, or med, gal, ged, drux, pa, drux, tal, don, or graf, don, or gesig, gon, med, ged, med, graf, or don, pa, drux, or don, or drux, med, graf, med, graf, sef, ged, or smalls, pa, gon, med, graf, mal, stal, or pa, drux, van, med, gon, drux, or pa, med, drux, or ged, graf, drux, med, graf, med, or med, gal, ged, drux, pa, drux, tal, don, or graf, don, or gesig, gon, med, ged, med, graf, or don, pa, drux, or don, or drux, med, graf, med, graf, sef, ged, or smalls, pa, gon, med, graf, mal, tal, or pa, drux, van, med, gon, drux, or med, gon, gesig, don, or van, or don, or med, graf, med, don, or med, gon, or don, med, gesig, van, or graf, med, gon, gesig, don, or van, or don, or med, graf, med, don, or med, gon, or don, med, gesig, van, or graf, med, gon, gesig, don, or van, or don, or med, graf, Med don med gon don med gesig von graf. Med gon gesig don van don med graf. Med don med gon don med gesig von graf. Med gon gesig don van don med graf. Med don med gon don med gesig von graf. Med gon gesig don van don med graf. Med don med gon don med gesig von graf. Med gon gesig don van don med graf. Med don med gon don med gesig von graf. Galas gethog theoth horwin eon eoth gelethog. Zafa Keel Zedekeel Kumael Raphael Heniel Mikael Gabriel El Me Ana Ekeel Adzoban Stimkol Il Demal Heoia Begia Stimkol Ab Athe Izad Ekei Madami Esemiel an ave libra rokel hagonel mes sabathel zedekel mademiel semiel nogahiel corbael lavanel. Lua lang sat lad mods zir ied bab sna ied sor gru ied ser ofs. O songs vor sego iad badlanch calls von fos obras orita napsravor gratal mabrige dis holke ke anoto azim zol komata noblin zien soba diel non be birge alde dis verbe oba lagr sam kasamaram Harela tava pier di zon regzib kab erida na pila farms o zenrazad na o gono iad pil dis homoto soba iad ipamodu lipamis dis loholo vevum de poamalod bogpa Aita pia pe balto od vao an zakar ka od zamran odo kirkleke azorje lab zerdonoko madho atiada. I reign over you, saith the God of justice and power, exalted above the firmaments of wrath, in whom hands the sun is as a sword, and the moon as a thorough-thrusting fire, which measured your garments in the midst of my vestures, and trussed you together as the palms of my hand, whose seats I garnished with the fires of gathering, and beautified your garments with admiration, to whom I made a law to govern the holy ones, and delivered you a rod with the ark of knowledge. Moreover, you lifted your voices and swore obedience and faith to him that lives and triumphs, whose beginning is not, nor end cannot be, which shines as a flame in the midst of your palace, and reigns among you as the balance of righteousness and truth. Move therefore, and show yourselves, open the mysteries of your creation. Be friendly to me, for I am the servant of your God, the true worshipper of the highest. Adjate vapatungum paip soldevit el sobamil praje izazas piade pecasarma brijame ratalo paracleda que talor skill turbe suje balto gibi kais lus diorior mikal pe kais bia ozongon lap no anthrops korstage oke manen iadan torzu gohiel zakarka konko zamran mikazo ozazame vilprare lap zerdo oiad. Can the wings of the wind understand your voices of wonder, O ye, the second first, whom burning flames have framed in the depth of my jaws, whom I have prepared as cups for a wedding, or as flowers in the beauty for the chamber of righteousness? Stronger are your feet than the barren stones, and mightier are your voices than the manifold winds. For you are become a building, such as is not, except in the mind of the all-powerful. Arise, saith the first. Move, therefore, unto his servant. Show yourselves in power, and make me a strong sea thing, for I am of him that lives forever. Migama gohoia zircum zela azien biabeos fondo nors kaisotil gigi paundil kais tapuim ke mos pleteloche ka en torje Kaisi kaije oziendis prijada otorzu ilieo belis argorodala telinos netab delugabum sarge lonsa kapi malik borskla homil kukasabe apen easy up od me no age get nata bau en nana el pan pir ma priji pil de kaushi no anuna laba od boan duo iamat goho lord gohu asamiran mikama ehizuo kaka komo duo en Noah mikazo eom kasamarm je kohoia zakaruni lad or umear pujo plapli enania kaen. Behold, says your God, I am a circle on whose hands stand 12 kingdoms. 6 are the seats of the living breath. The rest are as sharp sickles, or the horns of death, wherein the creatures of earth are and are not, except my hands, which sleep and shall rise. In the beginning I made you stewards, and placed you in the 12 seats of government, giving unto every one of you power successively over 456 the true ages of time, to the extent that from your highest vessels and the corners of your government you might work my power, pouring down the fires of life and increase continually upon the earth. Thus you are become the scourge of justice and truth. In the name of your God lift up, I say, yourselves. Behold his mercy flourish, and his name become mighty among us, in whom we say, move, descend, and apply yourselves to us, as to unto partakers of the secret wisdom of your creation. O til lasti baba je o dorpa go je kai je aba go korm pede di son ve viv diu kasamari o ali mapame sobamaj Kormpo kripel kasamarem je kruo di kai soruge disti kapi mali kais kapi moan uton shin kais talokla torzu nor kausahi odep kaus jabajile zirene ia disi odeplia duo apikal sakaro zamrano bilisang resile norbolap. I have set my feet in the south and looked about me, saying, are not the thunders of increase numbered 33, which reign in the second angle, under whom I have placed 9,639, whom none have numbered but one, in whom the second beginnings of things are and wax strong, which also successively are the numbers of time, and their powers are as the first, 456. Arise, you sons of pleasure. Visit the earth, where I am the Lord your God, which is and liveth. In the name of the Creator, move and show yourselves as pleasant deliverers, that you may praise him among the sons of men. Sapa ZIM di devo noasta cani sadrio dorpa caos jeo vandes peripso dablior casama amplizinas artea fonte lugares absilda caos gito torgi ozekais kesiash o vivoria doti dil despera ubapeia soba cormpa caistala usol coca sabe canai sudarse KSFT RZO blior ia ednasa Gercle Bajileiadiel. The mighty sounds have entered the third angle and are become as olives in the olive mount, looking with gladness on the earth and dwelling in the brightness of the heavens as continual comforters, unto whom I fastened pillars of gladness 19 and gave them vessels to water the earth with all her creatures, and they are the brothers of the first and the second, and the beginning of their own seats, which are garnished with continual burning lamps, 69,636, whose numbers are as the first, the ends, and the contents of time. Therefore come ye and obey your creation. Visit us in peace and comfort. Conclude us as receivers of your mysteries. For why? The Lord is all one. Gaius div Gaisem Mikazo Bilzin Zobamil Arje Mir Babylon Odo Black Samvel She de lugar ma prije arkaoshi rakam kanal soba ezapef bli arkaoshi od kais en etaba od miam tavivo de darsa so pleth bian brita odzaka Gimme kazo hobas hath trian lui he odakrin maka on. The spirits of the fourth angle are 9 and mighty in the firmaments of water, who the first hath planted as a torment to the wicked and a garland to the righteous, giving unto them fire darts to fan the earth, and 7,699 continual workmen, whose courses visit with comfort the earth, and are in government and continuance as the second and the third. Wherefore hearken unto my voice. I have talked of you, I move you, in power and presence, whose work shall be a song of honor, and the praise of God in your creation. Rasi salman paradiso krimi ai illa parja kaen inne butman odino asni paradia kasamarem je ugear gerilan odona clusifitian korsta bal zir and holami sobalondo miam kaista de o es umadea o pli ar hotel ritod miam konkorizaka zamran okrimi kada odoki malzo aiom Bajile papore dulugam lonshi odumple uge bligiliad. The east is a house of virgins, singing praises among the flames of first glory, wherein the Lord hath opened his mouth, and they are become 28 living dwellings, in whom the strength of man rejoices, and they are apparelled with ornaments of brightness, such as work wonders on all creatures, whose kingdoms and continuances are as the third and fourth, strong towers and places of comfort, the seats of mercy and continuance. O you servants of mercy, move, appear, singing praises of the Creator, and be mighty among us, for to this remembrance is given power, and our strength waxes strong in our Comforter. Bazimelo ita peripsan ul na zava be ox kasam je uran kai suge ege di zabram je potoa Gohoia soba miam trianta loki sabi evoven odazi ezi orir gil kai stadis paox puste Caos cog de kai so de parantelo che kakar je o salman lon sho ovina carbeth ni so bajile ava go han ni so bajile mo ma o siya o an o mabza ia da ia so mo mar po ilepe ni zamran ki o afi Caosio oblios o corsita abramige. The midday. The first is as the third heaven, made of pillars of hyacinth, 26, in whom the elders are become strong, which I have prepared for my own righteousness, saith the Lord, whose long continuance shall be as bucklers to the stooping dragon, and like unto the harvest of a widow. How many are there which remain in the glory of the earth, which are and shall not see death until this house fall and the dragon sink? Come away, for the thunders have spoken. Come away, for the crowns of the temple and the coats of him that was, is, and shall be crowned are divided. Come away to the terror of the earth and to our comfort and of such as are prepared. Mikalo I branza pergel mapta ia portis pren ia fafe pi Panpolani odobza soba upa kaistatan odranan bale ibolar lusta soblin od kais hoke kon kodi kai ai Una London mom kausho tala solor yin elim la lama kais Sova Madrid zekai su ano an kai avin lidri lipi Kauji old moni palm bloom vi clean la as is etes ham ha kaliado mirkos ozakai spidieko la uchinen asobam uchim bajile iad balto kelan parni so odi ife afe Bajile coca sabe I corsa uniglior. A mighty guard of fire with two-edged swords flaming, which have vials 8 of wrath, for 2 times and a half, whose wings are wormwood and the marrow of salt, have settled their feet in the west and are measured with their ministers 9,996. These gather up the moss of the earth as the rich man doth his treasure. Cursed are they whose iniquities they are. In their eyes are millstones greater than the earth, and from their mouths run seas of blood. Their heads are covered with diamonds, and upon their heads are marble sleeves. Happy is he on whom they frown not, for why the God of righteousness rejoices in them. Come away and not your veils, for the time is as such as requires comfort. Coraxo cais cormbe oblan sucal azi orpaibe sobalilon cais verke odefo an odrakeli Masi Bajile Kaoji Disi Albondo Sik Od Basi GM Odox Ecstasy Theatrix Od Salbrox Sinxir Fabo Anunal Kais Constis Dao Ex Cocasabe O Anio Yore Ors Mikali Olgix Yax Od Matabe Cocasabe Plusi Muluidis Page Laragom Drolin Matorbe Cocasabe Imna El Patralix Yolki Matabe Nomig Monon Oloragiene Engilardo Vio no Ibo Caos Ogon Bagile Madridi Zirapki so Trilapni so Pripip Nidali. The thunders of judgment and wrath are numbered, and are harbored in the north, in the likeness of an oak, whose branches are nests 22 of lamentation and weeping, laid up for the earth, which burn night and day, and vomit out the heads of scorpions, and live sulphur mingled with poison. These are the thunders which 5,678 times in the 24th part of a moment roar, with 100 mighty earthquakes and 1,000 times as many surges, rest not, neither know any echoing time, hear or one rock brings forth 1,000, even as the heart of man doth his thoughts. Woe, 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 yea, woe to the earth, for her iniquity is, was, and shall be great. Come away, but not your noises. Axial holdo ziramo coraxo dieseldar rasiod babzir kamilaxod baha niisod oldon saman teloche kasaman kolke odita Zaki soba kormfe igani soba jile abramje nunga be zakar kao zamran odo kirkle ke azorje lap zerdo noko matho atiada. The mighty seat groaned, and they were 5 thunders which flew into the east, and the eagle spake and cried with a loud voice, Come away, and they gathered them together in the house of death, of whom it is measured, and it is as they are, whose number is 31. Come away, for I have prepared for you. Move, therefore, and appear. Open the mysteries of your creation. Be friendly to me, for I am the servant of God, the true worshipper of the highest. Nangi di son baba jeo kai so tu baro ti bi be alara tra o dev trix fathan mi anar enne ovo f soba duo iana I von bo zakar go hua za o zamran Odo ke kle ke azorje lab zerdo noko matho atliada. O you which reign in the south and are 28, the lanterns of sorrow, bind up your girdles and visit us. Bring down your train 3,663, that the Lord may be magnified, whose name among you is wrath. Move, I say, and appear. Open the mysteries of your creation. Be friendly to me, for I am the minister of God, the true worshipper of the highest. Na pei baba jendis brin vex hu ao na laring von vo dualim eol slow la glorspa dis kais afa mi kama is romat Ilon she talks the simmadeo I grospe Zakaro zamran udo kerkle ke azorje lap zerdo no komatho athiada. O ye swords of the south, which have 42 eyes to stir up wrath of sin, making men drunken, which are empty. Behold the promise of God and the power of him which is called among you a bitter sting. Move and appear, open the mysteries of your creation. Be friendly to me, for I am the minister of God, the true worshipper of the highest. Noro mi baji pasba hoi adistrin mercolti il dotolami causio homin disbrin oroce che armicam abia hoi ad aistro tox disimede ai Baltim Zakaro Zamranodo Kerkleke Azorje Lap Zerdo Noko Madho Atiada. O you sons of fury and the daughters of the just, which sit upon 24 seats, vexing all living creatures of the earth with age, which have under you 1,636. Behold the voice of God, the promise of him which is called among you fury, or extreme justice. Move and appear. Open the mysteries of your creation. Be friendly to me, for I am the minister of God, the true worshipper of the highest. Il sabam il iparte kasaman ivape kaisarje diso ado kaushi orsko diso max manaski be aive ibodetemi jis iaidik sakaro zamranodo kerkleke azorje lap zerdo noko matho aptiada. O thou, the governor of the first flame, under whom wings are 6,739, which weave the earth with dryness, which knowest the great name righteousness and the seal of honor, move and appear, open the mysteries of your creation. Be friendly to me, for I am the minister of God, the true worshipper of the highest. Els vivia parte salman baldis brin acrudisi buste orbliorax baltidis in si causce gustan emoto dis omotilo be hamidrilo pagei madzilo darb zakaro zamranodo kerkle ke azorje lap zero noko madho aptiada. O thou second flame, the house of justice, which has thy beginning in glory, and shall comfort the just, which walks the earth with feet 8,763, that understand and separate creatures. Great art thou, and the God of stretch forth and conquer. Move and appear. Open the mysteries of your creation. Be friendly to me, for I am the minister of God, the true worshipper of the highest. Il se volte so ba kais non basix le dozi odrin vax hubarotus tax fuel si soba iadivon povane aldandax liuto atar zakaro zamranodo kerkle ke azorje lab zerdo noko madho atiada. O thou third flame, whose wings are thorns, to stir up vexation, and has 7,336 living lamps going before thee, whose God is wrath and anger, gird up thy loins and hearken. Move and appear. Open the mysteries of your creation. Be friendly to me, for I am the minister of God, the true worshipper of the highest. Els mi calzo il parto di palge bliors dis orobustir oiad ovo ars causio cassar mge la iad eran brins cassasam dis imbede aclundo mosod maofas Bolpe como bliorte pambate zakaro zamran odo kerkle ke azorjelap zerdo noko matho athiada. O thou mighty light and burning flame of comfort, which opens the glory of God to the center of the earth, in whom the secrets of truth 6,332 have their abiding, which is called in thy kingdom joy, and not to be measured, be thou a window of comfort unto me. Move and appear. Open the mysteries of your creation. Be friendly to me, for I am the minister of God, the true worshipper of the highest. Madriax dis Prof ZIM Guys Mikazo Sanir Kaojo Otfisis Balzis Ras Iada Nanga Guhilim Mikamahado Ianma Iobli Orbosoba Ona Kais Lustifitian Peripsodis abrasa non cave netia ibacaos jotilo badavata damplos tuo at nanca vegi migalzo amaraste tofclo marbe yari ido ego otor zula beio adafko ho kaos ji tabor sa nierod Christeos yerpol tiol be bustir tilb noal nan paidor spa ododrimini zylanil zaptil be parmji perip saxotach Corste buo apis el nimbe ucho simpod Christeos agtol turn mirko ke tiol be lel tol pambede dilzomo aspian od Christeos agel tor turn parache asim cordizis Dod palod fifalze el simnadod parge bombs Oma oas conispra od avavox tong uje Orskatilbe noasimi tabolge levitei mongunchi tilbe ors bagile mua ol cordizi el capi mao exomaxepi od kako casa bego asa bagelen pi tanta ababalon od fajorte teloche vove madri axor zuo idraxorocha abo apri taba ori priaze artaba ori adrapan korsta dobex yolka Priazi arkaoazi ior od kaos be ketin ripieri pa ox te saga cor umil od pridazar kakarje o ive I corm tek torzu zakaro zamran aspite Sibsi budmona disorzatia baltano do kerkle kea ozo zazama plaplida namad. You heavens which dwell the 13th air are mighty in the parts of the earth and execute the judgment of the highest. Unto you it is said, Behold the face of your God, the beginning of comfort, whose eyes are the brightness of heaven, which provided you for the government of the earth, and her unspeakable variety, furnishing you a powerful understanding to dispose all things according to the providence of him that sits on the holy throne, and rose up in the beginning, saying, The earth let her be governed by her parts, and let there be division in her, that the glory of her may always be drunken and vexed in itself. The course of her let it run with the heavens, and as a handmaiden let her serve them. One season let it confound another, and let there be no creatures upon her or in her the same. All her members let them differ in their qualities, and let there be no one creature equal with one another. The reasoning creatures of earth let them vex and weed out one another, and the dwelling places let them forget their names. The work of man and his pomp let them be defaced, the buildings of him let them become caves, for the beast of the fields confound the understanding of her with darkness. For why it repenteth me that I made man. One while let her be known, and another time a stranger, because she is the bed of a harlot, and the dwelling place of him that is fallen. You heavens arise, the lower heavens underneath you, let them serve you. Govern those that govern, cast down such as fall, bring forth with those that increase, and destroy the rotten. Let no place remain in one number. Add and diminish until the stars be numbered. Arise, move, and appear before the covenant of his mouth, which he has sworn unto us in his justice. Open the mysteries of your creation, and make us partakers of undefiled knowledge. Gekaund Laparin Dokepax Gekaund Laparin Dokepax Gekaund Laparin Dokepax. Governors of this Aethyr, hear my prayer. I declare the dignity and goodness of the earth-human family. We declare the unity of our spirit. Heal, guide, and protect us. May all beings on this earth enjoy equal rights in accordance with the principles of non-harm and the cosmic law of one for the benefit of all beings. Raise us up into celestial community. Let the new earth arise in light, love, and unity. Come forth here now into this world and accomplish our prayer. Gekaund Laparin Dokepax. I see cavern. I see a dark cavern. It is a dark void space. There are remnants of reflections of the cosmic star fields. Yet this is a space deep within the earth. Or even perhaps before a void space, an abyss. There are beings here. This is a space from which the earth emerges, from which space and time emerge. In a way, there is a creation happening here that brings forth a lighted universe, and yet this darkness is here. There are creatures who are large and vast and powerful within. They move like dragons. That velvety blackness, there are many of them writhing this way and that way, creating a field of movement. This is the This is a space upon which the phenomena of this world are projected or held up like floating rafts upon a water. I see pathways emerge within that field of writhing. There are flows of energy and movement, patterns and paths. There is communication between these beings. There is experience as well. Although between this world and that world there is not much communication. These writhing beings understand that upon them there stands this projection of consciousness, these three-dimensional forms. Yet there is rare communication. One comes forward, up and out of these beings. I recognize this as angel, yet its form is presented simply as a geometry, which I see with my third eye as full of eyes, and yet I see with my third eye as simply a point, simply a geometry. Came from within one of these worm-like writhing creatures in the abyss. The angel speaks to me yet in a form of energy. It pushes a channel of energy into my heart center, pushing out through my palm chakras. There is a communication as it reaches my central channel of the up and down thin tendrils. That is it. That information. That is like the communications here. It's what it says to me. There's information in that field, in that communication of energy. There's light within. And I see imagery of trees, childhood, of earth, of seasons, the cycle of human life, animal and plant life here on this earth. That blast of energy was dense with images. And I call for clarity in the visions and assistance from the angels. And that point becomes a human figure. It's robed in purple. And the angel's form is simply luminous, glorious star field. And it hands to me a jewel that was once the geometries this angel inhabited in that moment before he places it in my hands and guides my hand to my third eye and places it within, like a sacrament. And that allows a sort of distance between me and these writhing creatures, these abysmal writhing creatures. I can see them and they come into more focus. And they are dancing. These are the early creatures. These are primordials. Before the stars were born, these were and are and shall be. And I see within their writhingness a child, and that child is Gaia. And there is love and protection. These are the beings that keep her in space, moving. Their dance is the intelligence of the gravity, the magnets, and the physical expressions of movement in this world. They experience not as natural law, but as creative dance, as expression of their primordial instinct, divine expression and divine spark. In the image, I see Gaia as Earth in space, and I see many different races, the extra-terrestrials or dimensionals, the many of the cosmic family interacting with her. And yet these beings see all of them, see all the Earth and the star family as one. Their perspective is much more distant than ours, or even as Gaia, somewhat more like the angelic perspective being offered through the many eyes of those celestial beings. These primordials, it is like a distinction of insect, one versus the other, all essential, all important, all part of this cosmic dance, and yet the difference of perspective is staggering. Want me to know that there are many densities and layers of this earth, of this experience. And the whole experience of war, both terrestrial and celestial, the whole experience of history, these journeys of civilizations. They rise and fall within this ground, held by the primordials, administered by the angels. And the angel is very insistent here that they show me this vision not for despair, but for deeper invitation, for divine identification. And they offer me a metaphor or an image. Imagine oneself as a leaf, summer leaf turning into autumn, soon to fall. The destiny of that leaf is to decay and nourish the tree. The tree itself will grow and die, and the ground of the earth stays the same. It's an expression of that. The leaf an expression of the tree expression of the forest expression of the ground, and so on and so forth. And there is an eternity there. And the identification with the one part is truly false. We are not things so much as patterns of motion within this world. That is true for the single human life. Yet the invitation is for a deeper identification with the earth, with divinity, with the primordial. In truth, in this metaphor, the angel says, "You are not the ground. You are the ground of consciousness in which all this arises. The physical experience of the tree, the mental imagery, the capacity to parse the time, past, present, future, the awareness of awareness. All of these things point to the true nature, the true essence, the reality of our experience as divinity. This is the secret of creation that these angels, humans, primordials, terrestrial, celestial, all these beings are truly simply expressions of one mind through patterns of motion that are eternal, ever-changing yet ever-present. Ever-changing yet ever-constant. And I open myself for further messages, further visions from this realm, from the angels. They invite me to say my prayers to the primordials. I say I'm here to declare the basic dignity and goodness of the earth human, the spirit, the unity of our spirit. To pray for the new earth, to ask for healing, guidance, and protection. Call on these primordials to help us, to help Gaia, to help our entire system. Make this call, make this prayer, and with assistance, calling on the assistance of the angels to make that communication. They hold up a lens to my heart and invite me to radiate that energy. I see a change in the pattern of their movement, the primordial ones. That is the acknowledgement. Thank you. And the angels give me the option of coming back to the body, or having a conversation with one in a light ship. It's present as a guide. And I invite the conversation. Those angels take me from that abysmal place, dark place, and I am again in that field underneath the stars, the wide open space, near the pyramids in perfection. And I see the light ship as a shimmer, and the portals open. There is one that welcomes me, who is tall, and I recognize as the gentle man. He welcomes me into the ship. And I see many forms. The ship itself fluxes and moves. Its density isn't this one by any means. It is a form, it is a projection. It is flowing. The stability exists within the gentleman. He is taller than I am, and yet the same size. The stability emerges from the center of his head, like a portal. And the interior of the ship stabilizes into that which I have once imagined, at the same time as communications occurring. Gentleman letting me know that it is simply a projection of imagination, that the ship itself, that their being is sort of like a point of light within my world here, and that in the communication through this visionary experience can take any form we desire, and it stabilizes into that craft. And we are in the cargo bay, and I see that one-way mirror reflecting everything back, and I see the table upon which I sat once, conversing with this being. And I ask why it is here. and it tells me for the purpose of communication. It tells me for the purpose of explanation. I open myself to messages to it, from it. There's a feeling of love. The field around his mind is radiant. It is difficult to make concepts up and out of and communicate. There is a sort of atmosphere of many imageries, like 1,000 dreams collected from the aura of dreamers and pinned down into a single place, sort of blending together, moving and flitting. Underneath, there is a form that looks like a tall gray. And he tells me that yes, indeed, that in part is his form, a true form, and yet those are simply vessels of different frequencies that already exist. There is an expression of the angelic frequency within his being, and that is where the recognition and the communication and the collaboration between these angels and him are arising here and now. He lets me know that his intelligence and consciousness is that of God as well, of the universe, and that we share the same consciousness. Ourselves are the same as those primordials, as the terrestrial, extra-terrestrial, elementals, all of them, all of these beings is the same, and yet the expression within this world, capacity to act within these 3 dimensions of space and the dimensions of time, work with the bodies, with the energies and the patterns of motion within. In that initial communication, this being gave me all that information, and more, saying that their original forms were indeed created, those of the gray, this short gray, that there was a flowing in of consciousness. He says this happens even with rocks, the motions of asteroids, nebula, swirlings of water, movements of air, patterns, geological patterns, the magma within the earth. All of these share motion, and because of that and the connections, the universe of being within a field of consciousness, that all these patterns cannot help but express the deeper divinity, and in that way a spark of divine essence, of soul, of spirit came into the matter of those extraterrestrial beings. and that their form, at least this one here, is simply an anchor point of many consciousnesses, of several densities. Like a lattice work coming together to form something singular, yet multiple. There's communication happening between me and this being, the gentleman, saying that there are specific capacities within that race of beings, the extraterrestrials, that are and can be of immense assistance. That they have developed technologies and biological capacities that are exceptional, that can be of service here now, and that it is important to recognize that we are all one. That our consciousness and their consciousnesses work in the same way. That the physical expression is simply an expression of the deeper unity consciousness. It is extremely important for us to recognize this, because we are not welcoming colonizers or explorers or enemies into our space as we raise ourselves up into this galactic community. We are being received and reunified with ourselves. That self is God. It is important to understand, this one says, understand the densities through which our consciousness is active. There was an image of a pillar of light cutting through the many layers of existence. The communication is important. This is important. This is important, it says. It says we need to understand the densities. We need to understand how they work. We need to understand how we relate to ourselves and others and the world. We need to understand this. There is a transition from the direct identification of the mind and soul and with the body, with this physical matter, with the mortal aspect. Right? There's an identification with there. And there is also a transition. The transition exists, and there are psi capacities and capacities to move backwards and forwards in time and to this universe and that universe and so on and so forth. And there is a blending of realities at one layer. And this is the upper layer of the density. I believe it's the fourth density, as this one's saying. And that at the upper layer of there's capacities to move in different ways through the multiverse and time and space, and to enact these imaginative or experiences that involve interstellar travel and involve galactic wars and involve this and that, the other thing. This is simply one aspect of one band of communication, one band of experience, and that it is important to identify with the pillar of light experience that extends eternally through the many densities, the lower densities being like the third in which there is this struggle and history of progress and war and exploitation and colonization and fear and things like that. That is being brought into the fourth density, which is one of capacities to move through space and time, of manifestations, of psi abilities and things like that. That is where many of the those who actually identify themselves in the fifth dimension are residing in this fourth density, and this is a very challenging moment for many beings, because there is capacity to stay and be enmeshed in both the godlike powers of the fourth density to move in time, and in the fear cycles and the galactic wars and so on, that we have to fight back or defend ourselves or some such thing. The actual truth of the matter is that the fights in the fourth density, the galactic wars, right, are simply one expression of things, and those aspects, right, those are dark aspects of both the light and the dark aspects, the unintegrated, the split apart, the famously reptilian versus Pleiadian or some such bullshit. It's really what they say is that expression. That expression is a story that can manifest very strongly in the third dimension, the third density, as terror, as experiences of rape and violation. The capacities of fourth dimensional beings, fourth density beings, are such that their channelings create those experiences backwards and forwards in time. And those prophets and seers of galactic war who are warning the Earth humans of the evil empires and galactic battles are creating them with their fear, their aggression, spiritual materialisms. The message is clear. That consciousness of aggression, of light against dark, of dark against light, is simply a density of consciousness that is an invitation to move into greater unity. There will be no end for battle from that perspective. The invitation is to move truly into the fifth dimension, the fifth density. To recognize that those ancient enemies of darkness, those ancient allies of light, are refractory expressions of the same divinity which reside in the physical body, mental, emotional, spiritual, reside as creator, source, goal, path, beginning, endings. And this one says, and this one says, that is why it was present with me in those experiences. That is why such things like the confusion, the darkness, the feeling of out of control, feeling of violation, the feelings being eaten alive, those experiences I had. And he tells me to be explicit here of so-called alien abduction. That is why those could happen. And this teaching of the greater unity consciousness is the purpose and the ground and the reason for and why those experiences occurred. So I can recognize in all of them myself as God. And move through the challenges of this fourth density, the allure of war and aggression, and of deifying light and demonizing dark. There is more knowledge in the space between us, more communication. He says it's very important that we practice as a human family, accepting and loving one another, accepting the dark aspects of ourselves, loving the perpetrators of our suffering, that we have to move beyond the duality of victim and victimizer in order to enter into this galactic and celestial community. Because as third and fourth density beings, our society is weak, incoherent, and should we truly invite the experience of galactic war through our imaginations and mass channelings, through remote viewing, through literally remote viewing where our enemies are, we create them. And this situation is such we are not as skilled as it, as capable as those imagined enemies. And it is important to know that those imaginations are caused by something real. It is like a entanglement of particles. Between space, and we are seeing through our imaginations and calling forth through the mysteries of time these beings. And we have an opportunity and an invitation to find identity with ourselves and them in God, in divinity, in love and peace and unity, and move through those layers of challenge into a beautiful world of love and light, of acceptance, of peace. And that we will love, as soon as that happens, all of our enemies. All of the dark forces, the demons, the reptilians, those Nazis, any of those. We will love them as ourselves because we will truly see them as ourselves. And in that realm, those aspects of divine consciousness are no longer bound to the dark aspects and dark expressions. They are no longer trapped in that hellscape of perpetration, because we no longer need them to be. As soon as we love the darkness within ourselves as the divine, we allow those dark aspects that are demonizing us in the third and fourth densities to be something else, to ascend with us. And I make that choice here and now. And I affirm that and commit to that path. I invite aid and assistance. And I do so on behalf of our Earth human family. I, as an expression, the Earth human spirit as an expression of Gaia, as an expression of God, say yes to that path. And I invite the aid and assistance of all beings within this realm, and all the others, to help us love those dark aspects as ourselves so that we may ascend peace, love, and unity according to the principles of non-harm, the cosmic law of one, so be it. And he says, so be it. And it is so. Thank you. And the gentle one touches my head with his hands like he did before. He's working energy with me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There's no more communication for today. Thank you. Thy name be mighty, O God, which canst open the veil, whereby thy all-powerful will may be opened unto men. Power, glory, and honor be unto thee, for thou art the same God of all things, and art life eternal. Amen. Ate Malgud Vegebra Megdula Leolam. Amen. Yod-He-Ba-He. Adonai. Ehi. Agla. Before me, Raphael, behind me, Gabriel, on my right hand, Michael, on my left hand, Uriel, for about me flames the pentagram, and within me shines the six-rayed star. Ate Malkuth May all sentient beings enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. May we be free from suffering and the root of suffering. May we not be separated from the great happiness devoid of suffering. May we dwell in the great equanimity free from passion, aggression, and prejudice. By this merit may all obtain omniscience, may it defeat the enemy wrongdoing. From the stormy waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death, from the ocean of samsara, may I free all beings.